What is up, guys? Happy Thursday. Welcome to week 9, Thursday Night Live. We're hanging out for about a half an hour or so. We're going to go over the player practice news reports from today, and then we'll get into your questions and maybe look at some individual games and some start sits and some things like that. So thank you for hanging out with me on this Thursday evening. Happy Halloween Eve to you all. And let's just get right into it, man. Again, get your start sit questions or whatever you have. You guys can get that going in the chat. I will double back to that soon. I don't know why I'm all blurry. Why am I all blurry? Maybe because of the darkness here. So I don't know why I'm blurry. Got the focus out of focus, but it is what it is. I'm going to get through this. But I'm going to read some of the player practice news first. We got Lamar Jackson saying he's feeling 100%. I don't know why it's so blurry. What the heck is going on here? Okay, a little bit better for us. Alrighty, Lamar Jackson, 100%. Good news, Jaden Daniels fully in practice. I think he is going to be a fringe top 10 quarterback this weekend for us, QB1. You have Cooper Kupp limited with practice today. Still don't know what's going on with this dang camera here. Why are we so blurry, guys? It might be because it's too dark in here. I'll turn some lights on a little bit. There we go. That's a lot better. All right, we're back. So Jaden Daniels practicing in full. You got Cooper Kupp limited today. I don't think we're using Cooper Kupp right now in fantasy. This is a big one for tonight's game. Jalen Wright inactive, a healthy scratch. I think, I have a really tough decision. Like, should I start Ollie Gordon tonight over Tony Pollard this weekend? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Puka Nacua fully practicing, good to go after his bye week. Ricky Pearsall not practicing. I did see some quotes from John Lynch on that earlier today. This seems like it's just really nagging Ricky Pearsall. So unfortunately, there's no clear timeline on when he's expected back. So we'll continue to watch his practice reports. I'm assuming he's doubtful for week number 9. Brock Purdy limited today. He's on track to playing. Travis Hunter popped up on the injury report today. A little bit concerned there. He was not on the injury report yesterday, if I believe. So we'll watch for this knee injury. This could have been just a minor hiccup thing, and we'll see about that tomorrow. Brian Thomas Jr. limited in practice again today. He's on track to play in week 9. Good news for the Raiders. Brock Bowers and Jacoby Myers practicing in full today. I'm expecting them to play. We got Imari DiMercado limited today. I'm not sure if we're going to see him on Monday Night Football. Not going to use him in fantasy, but just know that he could, take in some receiving, passing down work in Dallas. You have Kyler Murray limited today. He's on track to play Monday Night Football in his return. Woody Marks popped up on the injury report today with a calf injury. Well, that's going to be a huge report tomorrow that we'll watch for. But good news for the Texans. Nico Collins, Christian Kirk fully practicing today. I think both guys are playing in week number 9 here. A tough game here. Home game against the Broncos. That's a good game. No Marvin Mims in this one. I'm expecting him not to play with that concussion symptom. We knew Isaiah Pacheco isn't going to play in week number 9 here. They have a bye in week 10. I think there's a chance that maybe he practices week 11. We'll watch for that. But good news for Kareem Hunt, who practiced today, and I believe Brashard Smith. I think both guys might have been limited today, but those two guys are going to carry the rock in Kansas City. No Hassan Haskins today. It's all Kamani Vidal in week 9. Good news on Joe Flacco. We had talked about this last night. We were unsure on Joe Flacco. The fact that he's out there limited today, throwing with that right shoulder, is a good sign. So hopefully he can. Hopefully he's not downgraded to not practice tomorrow. We want to see him limited again tomorrow, going through it and getting prepared for Sunday. Titans Chico Okonkwo does not practice today. Either does Calvin Ridley. So a bit of a concern here. We weren't expecting Calvin Ridley, and I don't think we were going to use him in fantasy, but Chico Okonkwo is a guy that has been decent. He's not really a starting tight end asset in fantasy, but if he can't go, that's going to open it up for Gunnar Helm, the rookie, to maybe be a fringe tight end 1 flex start if you need somebody. Calvin Ridley doesn't practice again. Ramondre Stevenson, this was the other big one today. Ramondre back-to-back DNPs. Looks like Travion Henderson on track to maybe get his first start of his career. And who knows, man, if he comes through in this one, maybe he earns more work going forward. So if you have Travion Henderson, this is kind of what we've been waiting for. Maybe we get finally a big fantasy game. And I'm probably starting Travion if I have him and Ramondre's out. Good news for Pat Freiermuth. He was looking doubtful yesterday. They didn't have good reports on this, and now he practices in full with that quad injury, so I'll have to change his tag. Drake London, and Michael Penix limited today. Josh Downs fully practicing today. So that's good news there after not practicing yesterday. Bills might get Josh Palmer back, which he leads them in separation, per route. So I think he is a big help for them, even though he doesn't play a lot of snaps. Bryce Young fully practicing, expecting him to play in Green Bay. Romo Dunze limited today. He says he will play. The one to watch, though, is DeAndre Swift, who did not practice today or yesterday with the groin injury. They could just be limiting him. He's very important to their offense. So tomorrow is going to be a huge day. If he does not practice, that means he's probably not playing. If he's limited, he's on track to playing. And then Cole Kmet back at practice today. He's on track to play, which takes a little bit of steam off a guy like Colston Loveland. Bengals are the worst team against tight ends, so like it's a good spot still for Loveland, but Cole Kmet back would ding his upside just a little bit. Let me see what else we got for you. I think we might be all caught up here, guys. Yeah, now we're into Wednesday. So we're all caught up. I'm looking around here. I don't have any questions in the chat. I don't know. Sometimes this chat has been a little weird. I'm just trying to check it and see if it refreshes it. But I don't have any comments in the chat room so far. I do see 12 people hanging out with us tonight. I did update the weekly rankings earlier today, and I kind of updated the start-sit charts. I'm going to go through these one more time tomorrow and get these ready for the weekend. Right now, I'm 50-50 on having a Sunday morning live show, so we'll see what happens. I got some things to get to on Sunday, but I'm hoping to get something in. I'm unsure at the moment. I was going to take a peek at the DraftKings Sportsbook for tonight and kind of read off some things that I'm liking. I don't have a great read on tonight's game. I'm not super into this game, but the Dolphins played really well last weekend in Atlanta. So Baltimore needs a win. They finally got a win last week with Tyler Huntley. Ravens are 7.5-point favorites at this game. I kind of like Dolphins to cover that. If I had to take something on that board, I think Dolphins plus 7.5 makes sense. Still like the Ravens in the money line, but I think this game might be a little bit closer than people think. First touchdown scorer, I'm looking for anytime. Minus 250 for Henry, minus 150 for Achane. I think both running backs have a good chance of scoring tonight. I kind of like a Mark Andrews touchdown with Lamar Jackson back. I was looking at Lamar Jackson's 2 touchdowns. They have him at minus 201 for 2+ passing touchdowns. So he's probably throwing 2. That's what that's saying. So taking a chance on Mark Andrews or maybe Rashad Bateman or maybe DeAndre Hopkins, if you're feeling it, I do think Lamar Jackson gets his 2 touchdowns tonight. He's absolutely torn up the Dolphins in his previous starts. I think he's averaging 3.5 touchdowns per game against these guys. So it's a really good spot for him. The Dolphins defense still not playing very well. In terms of receiving yards, I don't really see anything that sticks out to me. Everything's been pretty flat here. Tanner Connor is the starting tight end for the Dolphins tonight. They ruled out Julian Hill. So maybe that's something to look at, but I don't really like betting on those kind of guys. Malik Washington, they have his over-unders pretty high here. Otherwise, I usually like his numbers, but he's going to get targeted. They have him at 4 catches. So maybe Malik Washington sitting here at 31.5 yards. Maybe he catches 4 for 35 or something like that tonight. But again, I don't have a lot of good feelings about tonight's game. I'm hoping for a good game. I don't really like these two teams. I don't love this matchup. I think it could be kind of a weird back and forth game. But I'm excited to see Henry, Achane, and Lamar Jackson back. I'm excited for Lamar's weapons to finally get him back. Otherwise, I don't know, man. This feels like a team where both teams are not all that great. Ravens really need a win. We'll see what happens. I'm just going to look over the start-sit charts. I already reviewed these last night, and if you guys are members at thefantasyfellowship.com, you can check it out. If you want to check out these start-sit charts, just become a member over at thefantasyfellowship.com. I'm expecting Joe Flacco to play, which is going to elevate the Bengals guys. If DeAndre Swift is out, which I need to update him to questionable here, if DeAndre Swift is out in this game, I want to play Kyle Monangai. So check your waiver wires, man. If we get the news tomorrow, DeAndre Swift does not practice again, I kind of want to play Kyle Monangai. I think I would probably push him up to RB2 status, feel pretty good about that. And then, again, consider the tight ends. Hopefully we get a news update on Loveland and Cole Kmet. But for now, watch for Kyle Monungai. On the Vikings side of things, I kind of want to avoid this one. I think Justin Jefferson's really the only must-start Viking. If you guys do have Vikings, I'm probably looking to hold them out of my lineup this week. I think David Montgomery could get some garbage time, fourth quarter run in this one. Panthers Packers, I'm not super excited about this game. I think Rico Dowdle is really the only guy that I'm interested in. Ted McMillan, yes, as a wide receiver 3 flex back with Bryce Young. We did see Xavier Legette, who I need to add to this list. Xavier Legette popped up today with an illness. If he's not playing, Jalen Coker steps into the number 2 routes and snaps. He might be a low floor or a high floor PPR guy. So keep an eye on that one. Start your Packers. I think all the receivers here could have some fun in this one. I'm taking Dobbs and Watson as the big play guys. Nothing really changed for the Chargers. The Titans were still hopeful. We're going to hopefully see some better days ahead for this offense, but don't need to start a tight end or a Titan if you have to. Patriots, again, if Ramondre Stevenson's out, you're playing TreVeyon Henderson for sure. I still don't have any comments in here, so I don't know if that's on my end or if we just don't have any comments, but that's okay too. Start TreVeyon Henderson, if no Ramondre in this one. I don't know if I want to play Darnell Mooney. I really like Kyle Pitts. I like Drake London, obviously Bijan. Tough stop for Michael Penix this week at New England. You're starting Tyrone Tracy. I think you're starting Wan'Dale Robinson, and Darius Slayton should have been picked up in deeper formats. No Ricky Pearsall. That means Jawan Jennings, George Kittle, Christian McCaffrey. I have Jackson Dart as a QB1, Brock Purdy as a QB2 in this one. And again, you guys can check all this out. Become a member at thefantasyfellowship.com. That's where all these start-sit charts are. But if I don't have any more questions, I'm going to call it early for tonight. I'm going to go set some lineups and do some fun things before the game starts. So thank you for hanging out with me tonight, guys. Good luck. Enjoy the game, and we'll see you next time. Peace.